Yeah.
I will do my best to not say anything too.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So we are going to be discussing The Mandalorian Season 3, Mandy and the Kid. Are back again. This time around, we have detailing the Mandalorian who are meeting other Mandalorians and trying to reestablish the culture and the people of Mandalore, especially the planet as well. And with this series, it seems like with this season, not a lot of people have been talking about it. I think is past other seasons of The Mandalorian. I remember when it first came out, it was pretty hot. Second season, people were pretty big on it, and it then seems now like with this season 3, not so much. I don't know if you guys been seeing that with this season, but I feel like I haven't finished it yet. I still got 2 episodes left in this 8-episode season, but it feels like a lot of it feels kind of aimless. Of like, we really don't know. We don't really have a lot for them to do anymore. Especially at Grogu's story, I feel like his story is done. Like he should have just been left with Luke. But I think they were like, listen, do you know how many toys we selling to this little motherfucker? We are not letting them go at all. It's gonna be Mando and the kid. That's what it has to be. But it's interesting the stuff with this season to see some of the stuff with the Mandalorians and expanding that and stuff with them trying to regain their trying to reconnect their people and everything. Like I think that's interesting. Din Djarin, I think is still a badass character, but I think a lot of the episodes feel like a video game, like you're playing like side quests to build up XP so they can get other things, so they can, you know what I mean? Like you're there to meet all these other characters and there so they can build these relationships with them, so you can go back to them later on, and then they can come back into the story. Like it just kind of feels like that to me sometimes with it. Chris, what are some of your thoughts on Mandalorian season 3?
So for me, I really enjoyed it. The show is called The Mandalorian, and season 3 for me was the most Mandalorian the show has been. Spoiler alert, we do go. It's in the trailer. We return to Mandalore. For the first time in live action. It's been destroyed by the Empire. It's the Children of the Watch who keep on their helmets. It's Bo Katan's, mainstream Mandalorians, and how they eventually come together to take back Mandalore. I thought it was really fantastic. It is more tame. Season 1, where we established the character of Din Djarin, it's Adventure of the Week with Grogu. And then season 2, once he's established, we can play with the sandbox. We can bring in Ahsoka into live action, Bo-Katan into live action. We can bring back Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. And then in season 3, they're reunited after the Book of Boba Fett event. It is more quiet, more tame, more for me, not aimless but focused on what we're trying to accomplish. I think a lot of fans, the pushback comes from the fact that we did not know that Din Djarin was going to be sidelined this season. We didn't know that season 3 of Mandalorian was going to be the Book of Bo Katan, even though it is. It's season 3 is her story. It begins with her. It ends with her. When Katie Sackhoff went on the Harloff, she couldn't say at first how much she was in the series because it turns out this season is hers. I think I could have used a bit more backstory once we got to Mandalore and we were talking about moments from her childhood. I'm really surprised Duchess Satine, her sister from the Clone Wars series, wasn't really mentioned a lot or referred to. I do like where Din Djarin and Grogu are now, as father and son. And the armor as well. For me, the armorer, she does things in this season that there was no, and this isn't a bad thing. I don't mean. There's nothing she does in season 1 or season 2 that would have prepared us for the decisions and newfound ideology she has in season 3. As we saw in chapter 5 of the Book of Boba Fett, when Din Djarin says, "Have you heard of Bo-Katan Kryze?" And she goes, "Bo-Katan is a cautionary tale. She claimed the throne and the Darksaber purely based on name." I was like, oh, it sounds like the armor doesn't really fuck with Bo-Katan. Like there's some beef there. Like she called her a cautionary tale. So to see where these two characters meet and end up in season 3 was really cool to see. And for me, that was like probably the biggest takeaway.
Yeah. You mentioned it being the Book of Bo Katan. Yeah, I saw some people talk about that. It's some of the stuff they do with her, of how she's kind of being more pushed to the forefront here, and how she's kind of being picked to more bring the Mandalorians together instead of maybe somebody like Din Djarin, who this series has been following since the beginning, is an interesting choice. I guess because more, I mean, we have to have an actor who's going to be taking off their helmet probably most of the time, even though it could be Pedro Pascal, but I guess you would have to go through an arc with this character because Din Djarin is very much, he's all about the religion that he grew up in, and the creed, and keeping on the helmet. But Bo-Katan is always like, yeah, I don't really follow that. I take on my helmet when I want to, things like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting how they kind of play with those rules. Some of the stuff they do outside of the Mandalorians, like I like some of the stuff they do with like the Imperial officers, the former Imperial officers that are kind of working for the rebellion now, and then now they've tried to kind of reform them. And then there's the one character who we just saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think her name is Katie O'Brien, I believe is her name.
Katie O'Brien, yeah. Yep.
Who we just saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, the muscle mommy woman. She kind of comes in here. I like her whole kind of arc there. I think she's very good in that. And I think they do a very good job at that. There's a lot of stuff here that is separate, I feel like, from the story of the Mandalorians that feels very interesting. And then some of these episodes too, the length of these episodes, sometimes they run about an hour, sometimes they run about close to 30 minutes. So the time kind of varies there. Do you feel like tonally, like sometimes it's kind of all over the place because you'll have kind of more of a darker episode, like the episode with the Imperial officers there, and then maybe you have a more of a lighthearted episode. The episode I just got done with was the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo and Christopher Lloyd, like the episode some people are complaining about. Do you feel like tonally it's just kind of like it just feels like it's all over the place with that type of stuff there?
All over the place at times, but for the most part, no. For the most part, I do feel it does have focus. Yeah, like we'll have a great episode. For me, I liked it a lot. Everyone was complaining, saying, "Oh, this was probably from their Rangers of the New Republic show that got scrapped, and so they're using it here." But at Star Wars Celebration, it was confirmed by the creators. No, like that was always part of the plan to as we set up our heir to the Empire. We're getting Thrawn back, and Dave Filoni is getting his own solo movie that's going to kind of bring to an end the Mandalorian storyline, probably Boba Fett, and Ahsoka's story is going to lead into that as well as we get closer to the sequel era. Yeah, I don't know if Hunter has seen that one yet, Jack Black and Lizzo. That episode, the beginning was great and the ending was great. Everything with them was very distracting. I just saw Jack Black and Lizzo. But yeah, for me, it does have focus. I just wish there was more Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito's character. He shows up the last 2 episodes, but there is not enough for me, at least, to feel the weight of his presence, because he kind of just shows up after our Mandalorian characters have had this not elaborate, but the slow-paced journey to taking back their home world with a new leader on the throne. But besides that one episode, I thought tonally the season was pretty focused.
Okay, I feel like the show kind of struggles with doing like case of the week type stuff and then building the overarching story. Because when the first season started, like, a lot of the show, it's like very much like a Western, right? Like when you watch it, like Gunsmoke or something like that, like, each week there's like a different problem that the main hero has to solve, and he does it, and they do that here where like there's one episode where Carl Weathers returns where he's the new like mayor or of the town, and then they're being overrun by pirates, so then the Mandalorian get hired, so they have to come and liberate the town. We've seen that, I think, how many different times in this show now, like where people have come and liberated a town. We've seen that like 2-3 times already. But then they come, they come and do that, and then they get, the Mandalorian again. It's like that's why I say it feels like kind of like a video game where you get XP and everything, where they get like part of the land that they're on. It's like, okay, now the Mandalorians get some land that they can call home. The episode with Lizzo and Jack Black, like they get a special key that they have to they get of the city or something for helping out. So it's like, yeah, that's why it kind of feels like very video game like there with kind of some of the storytelling. I do like, again, some of the overarching elements, the stuff with the Imperial Office, like how that is going to work out with Moff Gideon. I do like some of the stuff, like the whole learning more about the Mandalorians, expanding that, expanding their whole kind of culture, the religion, the characters there, getting to know them more. I do think that they should train at a different area. You think after the one beast attack that they got, you think that they would move different training areas after the big. You know what I mean? Then a big dragon-like thing came and scooped up a kid. You think they would go like, okay, maybe this isn't the best place to train at. Maybe that's just me. Do you think, like, one of the main kind of stars of the show, Grogu, do you think there's a purpose for him being here? Do you think he's annoying now? Do you think they just don't know what to do with him? What's your opinion there?
I think Grogu has purpose. In Book of Boba Fett, he gets the chainmail, like the little Beskar chainmail shirt made by his dad. And this season, the armor makes him a Mudhorn signet, which is the size of his chest. It's supposed to go on his shoulder because he's a baby Yoda species. It fits on his chest. And because his species lives so long, I am willing to bet Grogu's going to be, he has purpose. He's going to be the first Force-sensitive Mandalorian since Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian to be inducted into the Jedi Order. The whole reason why we have the Darksaber in the first place. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to theorize and say it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Grogu appears in the Rey Skywalker movie because of how slow his race ages. If Ezra Bridger or Cal Kestis or Ahsoka were to appear in the Rey Skywalker movie, where Rey is now 35 years old, they would all be older characters, but Grogu would still be, for his species, young and spry, lightsaber, Mandalorian armor. So I definitely think we're not done with Grogu. Grogu has an end game of his own. I do.
True, I do think. I mean, like this character is, because of how slowly he ages, he's going to be included in other things. Like I said, he's a popular character. Toys, people love to see the toys and selling them. Everybody buys a little Grogu doll. Like, that's sold out like hotcakes. People were stabbing each other in the neck for them little dolls to buy them at the store. So yeah, I mean, he's obviously going to show up again and be there down there further in the road. So, and then you mentioned like Rangers of the Republic. You mentioned that show that, I don't know, they're not still doing that show, are they? Rangers of the Republic.
It got scrapped. It was supposed to be Gina Carano's show.
Yeah,
but she fumbled that bag. So,
oh, did she do something?
Yeah.
Oh, did she do something? Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
She has me blocked on Twitter, by the way. That's fact. Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Proud of myself. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Rangers of the New Republic. We also have Captain Teva, played by Paul. I forget his name, but he's from Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
He's awesome. His episode was really great. Yeah.
Because it feels like a lot of that stuff, like with the guy from Kim's Convenience, that should be, like you said, part of maybe the Rangers New Republic show, and like the stuff with like the rebellion trying to like reform these Imperial officers, these people who work for the Empire. It seems like that should be a part of maybe more something like that.
Yeah.
Than it's supposed to, maybe something like Mandalorian.
I will say all the episodes in this season of Mandalorian that revolved around the New Republic, they did a good job at showing how the First Order in the first place was able to usurp from under the noses, because the New Republic are so incompetent. Like the way our man Dr. Pershing was left alone with that fascist woman to fry his brain. Spoiler alert, sorry. Like and Tim Meadows from SNL, he has a little guest starring role. He's talking to Captain Teva, who's like, hey, Grieve Karga, Carl Weathers, he's calling me. Pirates are attacking Navarre right now. He needs the backup from the New Republic. And I don't know. They're an independent we can't get involved. It's the same political nonsense from the Clone Wars. They're repeating their mistakes, and we're seeing that. So it's a good setup for the First Order, and as to how, wait, you beat the Empire. How'd they rise up from the ashes? Oh, because the stupid Republic is still making the same mistakes and not helping people who need help. Yeah. They're asking for help. Just help them, because now you're forming enemies, while your actual enemies are just growing stronger. It's crazy. But season 3 of Mandalorian did a good job at that. But I am curious if the Rangers of the New Republic show was going to be mostly that, just showing the folly of the New Republic and showing how the First Order was able to come back in the first place.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, it's just like politics, I guess, in real life. Just stupid people, and then keep making the same mistake.
Stupid people.
Over and over again. So since you finished this season, what's your kind of overall thoughts of this season, and do you think it's better than season 2 and season 1?
I will say that based on what everything, so light spoilers, everything that Din Djarin and Bo Katan go through together, I'm surprised that relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic, but have some finality to it. There's no real goodbye at the end of this journey. Din Djarin asks the armor, can my son now become a Mandalorian? He's been through a lot of adventures and all that good stuff. He's fought by my side. I've seen what he can do. He has power. And the armorer says, well, he's still not old enough to speak, so he can't take the creed. And Din is like, well, what if his parents give permission? His parents are dead. What if I adopted him? There's so much they put into the relationship of Din and Grogu that could have been put between Din and Bo, which is great throughout the season, but the finale lacked a little of Din and Bo. Favorite season? I don't know if it is recency bias, but I really do love season 3. Everything we got, especially after the hype of Star Wars Celebration, and knowing season 3 is just the beginning of the road to Heir of the Empire. Man, I don't know. Season 2 was fantastic, and that finale was absolutely crazy. But I think right now I'll give it to season 3. As my personal favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like this also sometimes with this season, when they have nothing else to do, they're like action scene or monster or something. They'll just throw something out there like that. I feel like, and the action scene. I mean, the dog fights are good. The show still looks really good. I do think in episode 6, the Lizzo and Jack Black episode, I feel like that looked kind of bad. Like it's like clearly they're standing in front of a green screen. Like that looked kind of like clearly like they're standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah, I will say, to your point, season 3 was the first time I did notice the volume, which is the new technology they use to film virtual reality, to film like their backgrounds. There were certain shots I was like, oh, they're walking on a set, but everything else around them is being generated and moving kind of digitally. So I did notice that a little bit, but besides that, yeah.
What's the next Star Wars show that's coming out?
We're getting Star Wars Visions next on May the 4th, and then next in August is Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series.
Ahsoka, okay.
Which, let's go. I'm so ready for that.
So excited.
Real quick, little blurb on Star Wars fans. It's okay to be happy. Like I know that I know that like a lot of you don't like being happy. You just like to bitch and complain for the sake of complaining because your parents' basement gets too cold. But like it's okay. You can smile and actually enjoy some of this shit. Okay, like I'm just like, dude, people have been bitching about Star Wars like more so than usual this past season of Mando, and just the amount of Liz. Like, why do people hate Lizzo so much? Like, I don't understand. It's just like the girl plays the flute. She just seems fun. Like, it's just like
because she is not their idea of, because Lizzo doesn't meet their beauty standards, but yet she still loves herself and she's successful. So they hate her for that reason.
Yeah,
she is a big woman and she's happy about it, and they hate her for it.
And Jack Black just seems like the nicest dude in the fucking world.
So funny.
Like, and Tenacious D. Like, I haven't seen Super Mario Brothers yet, but I'm assuming he's the best part of it. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
Yeah.
yes.
So, but it's just like I don't know, y'all. Like
No.
I if you're not digging Star Wars now, there's so much stuff coming. Like Skeleton Crew, I'm excited for that. I still haven't seen Andor yet, and everyone has yelled at me about not watching Andor yet. I know. I'm trying to get caught up on Succession right now. I'm just finishing Atlanta. All right, I'm trying. I'm trying to get caught up, but it feels like there's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming out.
Yeah.
We'll see what doesn't get canceled, but but I'm sure there will be something for you. But just like
Yeah.
let people enjoy things. God, no more Skywalkers for fuck's sake. No more Skywalkers. Just no more of that.
So Hunter, you haven't started season 3 yet. Josh, how far are you on season 3?
I'm on episode 7.
Episode 7. Have you watched it or you're on it?
On it.
Watch it.
On it.
You're on it. Okay. All right. What did you think of the Foundling episode 4, where Paz Vizsla's Foundling is taken by the pterodactyl thing, and we finally find out who saved Grogu from Order 66.
That was a cool view. I mean, we've seen a trend now where a lot of people are coming back into the franchise that we've seen from the prequels. I think the only person now, it's like Natalie Portman. You got to come back. Natalie Portman has to. It's like everybody else.
She's the only one.
Everybody else is coming back. You might as well just come back too. So that was nice. I didn't really particularly like that episode all that much. I do like someone giving more backstory with Grogu, but I didn't like the whole monster thing where it's like I feel like that's just killing time. You know what I mean? We need a monster for them to fight and everything. So I just felt like that was killing a lot of time. But I did like giving them more backstory to Grogu and everything, and I like the surprise person who kind of showed up there. I won't spoil it. I mean, I think it's already out there, but I won't say it just in case you don't know.
Yeah. I've avoided all Mando spoilers because
I'll say
I'm
nothing.
staying off Twitter.
Yeah.
But what I will say is chapter 5 of the Book of Boba Fett, where Din Djarin tells the truth. She goes, "Have you ever taken off your helmet?" "I have." "Then you are a Mandalorian no more. I apologize. How can I atone?" "The only way is to go back to the planet Mandalore and bathe in the Mystic Springs. But Mandalore is like turned to glass. How am I supposed to do that?" He does it fairly quickly, actually. The first 2 episodes of the new season, he gets it out of the way. So it makes you, the audience, wonder what else is going to happen this season, because by the end of season of episode 2 of the new season, he does it. He bathes in the water. Bo-Katan show him where it is, and then he does it. So what's next? Next is Bo-Katan, and for me that happened very naturally. And like I said before, my biggest takeaway from this season was the armorer and how she changed her ideology, and which led to bringing back her people to help take back the world, their planet that was taken from them. And seeing how this season ends, I still want to see. I still want to go back to see the Night of a Thousand Tears. I want to see the Empire destroy Mandalore. Like we're being told about it. I'd like to see it. Maybe it'd be cool to see how Bo-Katan lost. Like they told us how, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. Do you think they should just give her?
Bo-Katan, suck girl.
Yeah. Do you think she should just give her own spinoff? Just Book of Bo-Katan. Just give her own spinoff.
Now they definitely could. And if they did, they'd probably make it fit on the road to Heir of the Empire. Mandalorian season 3, Ahsoka, Star Wars Celebration announcement. It's all like, it's nice that Star Wars now has their own kind of end game. Like all these stories are gonna tie in. These characters, these pathways are gonna overlap. Ahsoka is gonna be special. Like it's gonna be Star Wars Rebels season 5. I don't know if we'll get more of Ezra besides that hologram we see in the trailer, but all I know is Sabine Wren is no longer wearing her armor, which is kind of crazy. So I'm excited.
I have to.
There's definitely
Rebels.
room for. Oh, but by all means, it's only 4 seasons.
It's good shit. It's really good shit.
It's top tier Star Wars storytelling.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for Rosario Dawson because she's wanted this
Yes.
forever, for so long, and it
Yeah.
was kind of like you have someone who wants to play this role so much, like you would think you'd pull the trigger. Um,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, like it's been so weird because like I really was like, are you guys just gonna miss out on this opportunity? And thankfully they wised up and went, oh no, we're going full tilt with this. And Ray Stevenson,
Mhm.
as oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
so excited to see him play a bad guy in the Star Wars universe. Like, there's a lot to be excited about. I
Yeah.
think moving forward. Just have a plan this time. Just
Yeah.
like
Please.
let's have a plan. Let's not rise Skywalker anymore.
And just to piggyback real quick, I I don't I love everything that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. As a fan who was like kind of burned by the sequels, I don't want them to be burdened with the responsibility of filling in those gaps, but they are, and they're doing a good job. They're doing a great job. Even Bad Batch, which takes place before the events of the original trilogy, they're even back then they're starting to plant the idea of cloning, force sensitive cloning. So hence, somehow Palpatine returned. What do you mean somehow Palpatine returned? This is horrible, you guys. Who wrote that?
Yeah.
Come on. So I'm really glad that Bad Batch and Mandalorian are dropping hints and clues of the Empire, you know sneakily working on force sensitive cloning to bring back their precious Emperor.
Yeah. Um. So that was The Mandalorian season 3. Let me catch up on the chat here, and then we're gonna head out. Javon Good said Finn should have been a Jedi.
Yes,
Oh god damn it! Don't even get me started on that. Like,
the Force Awakens is fantastic.
for as much as Disney has done with Marvel and diversity, putting a black man with a white woman, no, sorry, kids. Maybe another 20.
Yeah, and like teasing it like it's gonna happen, and then she kisses the homicidal tortured white guy.
Why? I'm just like, all right. I mean,
Uh,
but I can change him.
he he forced himself into your mind the first day you met him. He's not the one for you.
That's right. I totally
He
forgot about.
forced himself into her head. That's your man?
Oh, oh, that's
Finn
right.
Finn saved you. He came back for you. He loved you the moment he
Fuck,
saw you.
Jeez.
fuck, you actually are making me hate that more. I totally forgot about that. That God, fuck. So the rumor is though, apparently, so rumor, like
Uh.
Mhm,
that Boyega might be getting his own show to basically compensate for him getting fucked over royally, and that whole
mhm,
the start of that is him showing up in Ray's movie.
mhm.
Um, I love Jean Boyega. I think he's one of the best actors we have working.
He's
Period.
fantastic. Yeah.
Right now, I can't wait for Attack the Block 2, and he was amazing in The Woman King. Um, Lucasfilm, you owe him this. Like, I
Yeah.
hate using the term "owe" to anyone. You owe him this for the way that you fumbled his arc. Yeah, like, and if that gets us Boyega back and they actually flesh him out, hell yeah, give me that.
Yeah.